Admiral Woo Jin Kim stood on the observation deck of the UES Indomitable, watching ships appear from quantum tunnels all around Earth. Each flash of light brought another warship into formation. Destroyers, carriers, battleships, and vessels that the galaxy had never seen before. "Status report," he called to Captain So Young Park. "Sir, we have 647 ships in formation. The remaining 200 will join us at the staging point." Woo Jin nodded. For 50 years, Earth had been building this fleet in secret. Hidden shipyards on the dark side of the moon, automated factories in the asteroid belt, research stations beyond Pluto. While the galaxy thought humans were still learning to fly between planets, Earth had created the most advanced military force in known space. "Admiral," called Dr. Min-Ho Lee from his station, "I'm receiving updated intelligence on the Krovar Empire. What do we know?" "They're a hive mind species. Individual Krovar have limited intelligence, but they're controlled by war commanders who are much smarter. They use overwhelming numbers and brute force tactics." Captain Park joined them. "How do they compare to our simulations?" Dr. Lee pulled up holographic displays. "Their ships are larger than ours, but they rely on simple weapons. Plasma cannons, missile swarms, ramming attacks, nothing we haven't prepared for. And the Villani? Peaceful herbivores. Advanced technology, but no weapons. They've lived in harmony for thousands of years." Woo Jin studied the data. Humans had spent centuries fighting wars. They knew every trick, every strategy, every way to destroy an enemy. The Krovar had only fought peaceful species who couldn't fight back. "Send word to all ship commanders. Full briefing in 1 hour." An hour later, 847 captains appeared as holograms on the Indomitable's main deck. Woo Jin looked at each face. These were Earth's best commanders, trained in every form of warfare. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is humanity's first contact with alien life. The galaxy will judge us by what we do in the next few days." He activated the display showing Villani space. "The Krovar Empire has destroyed dozens of worlds. They're now attacking a peaceful species that asked the galaxy for help. 46 other civilizations received this distress call. None of them sent military aid." Captain Jaewon Yu raised his hand. "Sir, what are our rules of engagement?" "Simple. Stop the genocide. Protect the innocent. Show the galaxy what humans do when evil thinks it can act freely." "What about prisoners?" asked Commander Sunmi Kang. "We follow the Geneva Conventions, even in space. Any Krovar who surrenders will be treated properly. But anyone participating in genocide?" Woo Jin's voice grew cold. "Well, they'll learn why Earth is called a death world." The briefing continued for 2 hours. Battle plans, supply lines, emergency protocols. Every detail was covered. When it ended, the human fleet began its jump to Villani space. 800 light-years away, Do-hyun watched the first Villani world burn. His ships had destroyed 3 outer colonies in 2 days. The aliens hadn't even tried to fight back. "War Commander," called his communications officer, "we're receiving transmissions from the remaining Villani worlds." "More begging?" "Yes, sir. They're asking us to spare their children." Do-hyun felt nothing. The Krovar Empire needed these worlds for expansion. The current inhabitants were just obstacles to be removed. Ignore their transmissions. Begin the assault on their core worlds. 500 Krovar ships moved toward the heart of Villani space. Do-hyun expected to finish the genocide within a week. On the Villani homeworld, Taemin watched the approaching fleet. Subin sat beside him, both of them accepting their fate. "Any word from our distress signal?" Subin asked. "Medical supplies are still arriving. The Dorit sent enough food for 1 million people. That's kind of them." "Yes, but we have 12 billion people on this world alone." Subin looked at the scanner. "The Krovar will be here in 18 hours. Taemin kept monitoring the deep space sensors, hoping for a miracle. The long-range scanner showed nothing but empty space beyond their system. Then something changed. "Subin, look at this." A small blip appeared on the edge of their sensor range. Then another. Then 10 more. "Probably more Krovar ships," Subin said sadly. But Taemin was studying the sensor readings more carefully. "No, these are different. Wrong size, wrong energy signatures." More blips appeared. "Dozens, then hundreds. That's impossible," Subin whispered. "No one has fleets that large." The blips were moving fast, much faster than Krovar ships could travel, and they were coming from the direction of the outer spiral arm, where the dangerous death worlds were located. "Taemin?" Subin's voice was shaking. "How many ships is that?" He counted the sensor contacts again. 847. Who sends 800 ships to help strangers? Before Taemin could answer, his communication board lit up. An incoming message on the same frequency they had used for their distress call. This is Admiral Woo Jin Kim of the United Earth Defense Force. We received your distress signal. We are here to help. Taemin stared at the message. Earth? That's the Death World in System 47, the one where the violent primitives live? Apparently they're not primitive. Another message came through. Vellani forces, please respond. We need tactical information about the Krovar fleet. Subin activated the transmitter with shaking hands. This is the Vellani Confederation. We can't believe you came. We couldn't ignore your call for help. How long until the Krovar reach your homeworld? 17 hours. Understood. We'll be there in 6. The transmission ended. Taemin and Subin looked at each other in amazement. Did the humans just say they'll be here in 6 hours? Subin asked. That's impossible. They'd have to travel faster than light. But the sensors didn't lie. The human fleet was moving at incredible speed, using some kind of technology that the Vellani had never seen. Word spread quickly through Vellani space. The species that everyone thought were primitive warriors had received their cry for help. And instead of sending medical supplies or food, they had sent their entire military. On the Krovar command ship, Do-hyun received reports of the approaching fleet. War Commander, unknown ships are approaching from the outer rim. How many? Over 800, sir. Do-hyun was confused. No species had fleets that large. The Krovar Empire was the strongest military force in the galaxy. What species? Unknown, sir. They're using technology we don't recognize. Ignore them. Probably another peaceful species trying to negotiate. Focus on destroying the Vellani worlds. But as the hours passed, more reports came in. The unknown ships were fast, heavily armed, and organized with military precision that the Krovar had never encountered. War Commander, his tactical officer called. The unknown fleet has sent us a message. Put it through. A human face appeared on the screen. Do-hyun had never seen this species before, but something about the human's eyes made him uncomfortable. This is Admiral Woo Jin Kim of Earth. You are ordered to withdraw from Vellani space immediately. Any Krovar ships that continue attacking civilian targets will be destroyed. Do-hyun laughed. Another peaceful species trying to negotiate. Send a reply. This is War Commander Do-hyun of the Krovar Empire. You have no authority here. Leave or be destroyed with the Vellani. The human's expression didn't change. You have 1 hour to begin withdrawing. After that, we will show you why the galaxy calls Earth a death world. The transmission ended. Do-hyun wasn't worried. His 500 ships had destroyed dozens of worlds. These humans, whoever they were, would learn that the Krovar Empire was not to be challenged. He had no idea that humans had been preparing for this moment for 50 years, or that Earth's definition of warfare was very different from anything the galaxy had ever seen. The human fleet dropped out of quantum tunnels at the edge of Vellani space like a storm made of metal and fire. 847 ships appeared in perfect formation, their weapons already charging. Taemin watched his sensors in amazement. The human ships were smaller than Krovar vessels, but they moved with precision that took his breath away. Every ship knew exactly where to be. Subin, are you seeing this? The humans arranged their fleet in 6 minutes. It takes our ships an hour just to organize a parade formation. On the UES Indomitable, Admiral Woo Jin Kim studied the tactical display. Captain So-young Park stood beside him, coordinating with the fleet commanders. Status report, Captain. All ships in position, Admiral. Sensor sweeps show 512 Krovar vessels. They're spread across 7 different attack groups. Dr. Min-ho Lee looked up from his station. Admiral, I'm receiving communication requests from multiple Vellani worlds. Put them through. The main screen filled with alien faces. Taemin appeared first, his 6 eyes wide with hope and fear. Admiral Kim, we cannot thank you enough for coming, but the Krovar have weapons that can destroy entire cities. Ambassador Yoon-ji-nam stepped forward. She had spent years preparing for first contact, but never imagined it would happen during a war. I am Ambassador Nam. We are here to help your people, but we need information about Krovar tactics and capabilities. Another Vellani appeared on screen. This was Da-un, a young scientist from the outer colonies. The Krovar don't use tactics like you do. They just attack with everything at once. Their ships are tough but slow. They depend on their numbers. How do they treat prisoners? Asked Ambassador Nam. They don't take prisoners, Da-un said quietly. Every world they attack becomes silent. No survivors. The bridge of the Indomitable was quiet for a moment. Admiral Kim looked at his officers. They had all read the reports, but hearing it directly made it real. "Admiral," called Commander Ji-Ho Shin from the communication station, "the Krovar commander is requesting to speak with us." "Put him through." Do-Hyun's image appeared on screen. The Krovar war commander was massive, covered in black armor, with red eyes that showed no emotion. "I am War Commander Do-Hyun. You have interfered with a legal military operation of the Krovar Empire. Withdraw immediately or face destruction." Admiral Kim stepped forward. "I am Admiral Woo-Jin Kim of Earth. You are committing genocide against innocent people. You have one final chance to withdraw peacefully." "Earth?" Do-Hyun seemed confused. "My databases show Earth as a primitive death world. You cannot have the technology for interstellar war." "Your databases are wrong." Do-Hyun laughed, a harsh sound that made the Vellani on screen flinch. "I command 500 ships that have conquered dozens of worlds. You are outnumbered. Numbers aren't everything. Prove it, human." The transmission ended. Admiral Kim turned to Captain Park. "All ships, battle stations. Execute Plan Alpha." The human fleet moved like a single organism. Instead of charging straight at the Krovar formation, they split into multiple groups that attacked from different angles. Do-Hyun watched the human tactics with growing confusion. Most species either ran away or charged directly at his ships. These humans were doing something completely different. "War Commander, the human fleet is separating into smaller groups." "Good. We can destroy them one group at a time." But as the first human ships entered weapons range, Do-Hyun realized he had made a terrible mistake. The human weapons were unlike anything he had ever seen. Instead of the simple plasma cannons that most species used, the humans fired kinetic projectiles that moved at incredible speeds. Their missiles changed direction in flight, avoiding Krovar defenses. Their energy weapons cut through Krovar armor like it was paper. "Damage report," Do-Hyun shouted as his flagship shook under human fire. "Sir, we've lost 40 ships in the first 30 seconds. "That's impossible." But the tactical display showed the truth. Human ships were destroying Krovar vessels faster than Do-Hyun could count. Each human ship fought like it had a personal grudge against the entire Krovar fleet. Captain Jae-Won-Yu commanded the stealth destroyer squadron. His ships appeared behind Krovar formations, destroyed several vessels, and vanished before the enemy could respond. "Target their command ships first," he ordered his squadron. "Cut off their coordination." Lieutenant Commander Sun Mi-Kang led the fighter squadrons. Her small, fast ships swarmed around the massive Krovar vessels like angry insects, hitting weak points and moving too quickly to be targeted. "Remember, these are the same creatures that murder civilians," she told her pilots. "Show them what real warriors look like." On the Vellani homeworld, Taemin and Subin watched the battle in amazement. The humans weren't just winning, they were dominating. "How are they doing this?" Subin asked. "Look at their formation patterns," Taemin pointed at the display. "Every ship supports the others. When one ship attacks, two more protect it. When they move, it's like watching a dance." Dayun's voice came through the communication system. "Admiral Kim, the Krovar are trying to retreat to attack our civilian worlds." "Understood. Captain Park, deploy the intercept squadrons." Human ships moved to block every escape route. The Krovar found themselves surrounded by an enemy that seemed to predict their every move. Do-Hyun was panicking. In 1 hour of fighting, he had lost over 200 ships. The humans had lost only 12. "War Commander, we must retreat." "Retreat where?" "They've blocked every exit from the system." It was true. Everywhere Do-Hyun looked, human ships waited. These warriors from the Death World had turned the entire star system into a trap. "Send a surrender message." "Sir, do it." The communication came through to Admiral Kim. "Human Admiral, this is War Commander Do-Hyun. We request terms for surrender." Ambassador Nam looked at Admiral Kim. This was the moment that would define humanity's relationship with the galaxy. "Your surrender is accepted," Admiral Kim replied. "But you will face justice for the worlds you have destroyed." "What are your terms?" "All Krovar forces will withdraw from Vellani space immediately. You will provide reparations for the damage you have caused, and you will never attack a peaceful species again." "And if we refuse?" Admiral Kim's expression grew cold. "Then you will learn why Earth is the only planet in the galaxy that evolved predators capable of space travel." Do-Hyun looked at his tactical display. 300 of his ships were gone. The humans could destroy the rest whenever they wanted. We accept your terms, the battle was over. But for the Villani, a new chapter was beginning. Taemin received a message from Admiral Kim. The Krovar threat has been eliminated. Would you like to establish formal diplomatic relations with Earth? Subin laughed with relief. Should we tell him that most of the galaxy considers humans to be violent primitives? I think, said Taemin, that the galaxy has been very wrong about humans. Ambassador Nam appeared on their screen. On behalf of Earth, I would like to apologize for the violence you witnessed today. We prefer peaceful solutions, but we will not allow genocide to continue when we have the power to stop it. Ambassador Nam, said Da-un, your people traveled 800 light-years to save strangers. You risked your lives for people you had never met. How is this primitive behavior? Perhaps, said Ambassador Nam with a smile, the galaxy needs to update its definition of civilization. 3 days after the battle, the human fleet maintained position around Villani space while diplomatic talks began. Admiral Woo Jin Kim found himself dealing with something much more complex than warfare: galactic politics. Admiral, reported Dr. Minho Lee, we're receiving communication requests from 43 different species. They all want to know who we are and how we destroyed the Krovar so easily. Commander Jiho Shin looked up from his station. Sir, some of these messages are from species that received the original Villani distress call but chose not to help. Admiral Kim studied the list of incoming communications. The Galactic Council, the Ketha Federation, the Dorit Commonwealth, and dozens of others, all of them suddenly very interested in talking to the humans they had previously ignored. What's our priority, Admiral? Asked Captain So Young Park. The Villani come first. They're the ones who needed help. Ambassador Yoonji Nam had spent the last 3 days on the Villani homeworld, learning about their culture and establishing formal diplomatic relations. She appeared on the main screen from the surface. Admiral, the Villani leadership wants to discuss a mutual defense treaty. What kind of treaty? Dayun appeared beside Ambassador Nam. The young Villani had become their unofficial liaison with Earth. Admiral Kim, the Krovar Empire still exists. They only lost their attack fleet. Their homeworld has thousands more ships. You're worried they'll come back? Not just them, said Taemin, joining the conversation. The galaxy has many aggressive species. Most peaceful civilizations live in fear because they have no way to defend themselves. Admiral Kim understood the problem. The Villani were asking Earth to become their protector, but accepting meant that humanity would be responsible for defending multiple star systems against any threat. Ambassador Nam, what's your assessment? Sir, the Villani are offering us something unique. They have advanced science and technology, but they've never used it for weapons. They can help us improve our medical technology, environmental systems, and space travel. Captain Park raised a concern. Admiral, if we agree to protect the Villani, other species will ask for the same protection. How many worlds can we defend? It was a good question. Earth's fleet was powerful, but the galaxy was enormous. Dr. Lee, what intelligence do we have on other aggressive species? Several, sir. The Krovar are actually one of the smaller military powers. There's the Vorthan hegemony, the Red Claw Syndicate, and the Destroyer cult. Most peaceful species pay tribute to avoid being attacked. Tribute? Yes, sir. They give up resources, technology, and sometimes people to avoid military destruction. Admiral Kim felt anger rising in his chest. Earth had fought 2 world wars to stop exactly this kind of behavior. Bullies taking what they wanted from the weak. Admiral, Dayun interrupted his thoughts. There's something else you should know. The Galactic Council is demanding that Earth appear before them to explain our actions. Demanding? Ambassador Nam nodded. They claim we violated galactic law by interfering in a local conflict without permission. Captain Park looked confused. Permission? We stopped a genocide. Apparently, sir, the Galactic Council has rules about military intervention. They say we should have asked for authorization before attacking the Krovar. Admiral Kim studied the faces around him. These alien bureaucrats had received the same distress call that Earth had. They knew what the Krovar were doing, and they had chosen to do nothing. Ambassador Nam, send a reply to the Galactic Council. Tell them that Earth doesn't ask permission to stop genocide. Sir, that might create diplomatic problems. Good. Maybe it's time the galaxy had some diplomatic problems. While the humans debated their next move, word of the battle was spreading through known space. On dozens of worlds, the story was the same. The violent primitives from the Deathworld had done what the entire Galactic Council couldn't do. On the Door at Homeworld, Prime Minister Hyun Soo Kang was meeting with his military advisors. Prime Minister, should we contact the humans directly? What would we say? That we were too afraid to help the Villani ourselves? Sir, the humans destroyed 500 Crovar ships in one battle. They have technology we've never seen. More importantly, added his defense minister, they used that technology to save innocent people, not to conquer or intimidate. Similar conversations were happening across the galaxy. Species that had lived in fear for generations were wondering if the humans might be willing to help them too. But not everyone was happy about Earth's intervention. On the Crovar homeworld, Supreme War Leader Sang-hoon was planning revenge. Do-hyun had returned in disgrace, bringing news of the devastating defeat. These humans destroyed our attack fleet, but they showed mercy, Do-hyun reported. They could have killed all of us, but they allowed surrender. Mercy is weakness, Sang-hoon replied. We will use their soft hearts against them. War Leader, with respect, I fought them. Their mercy isn't weakness. It's confidence. They know they can destroy us whenever they choose. Sang-hoon struck Do-hyun across the face. The Crovar Empire does not fear any species. We will gather our full fleet and crush these humans. But privately, Sang-hoon was worried. The humans had appeared from nowhere with advanced technology and superior tactics. How many other surprises might the galaxy hold? Back in Villani space, Admiral Kim made his decision. Ambassador Nam, contact the Villani leadership. Tell them Earth accepts their offer of a mutual defense treaty. And the Galactic Council? We'll meet with them, but we go as equals, not as subjects requesting permission. Admiral, Captain Park warned. We're changing the balance of power in the galaxy. There will be consequences. There are always consequences for doing the right thing, Captain. The question is whether we can live with the consequences of doing nothing. Da-un spoke up from the planet's surface. Admiral Kim, if Earth protects the Villani, other peaceful species will ask for help too. We'll deal with each situation as it comes. What if there are too many requests? What if you can't help everyone? Admiral Kim thought about this carefully. Earth couldn't save every species in the galaxy, but they could try to save some. Da-un, there's an old saying on Earth. Evil succeeds when good people do nothing. We can't save everyone, but we won't ignore people who need help. The next day, Earth and the Villani signed their first interstellar treaty. The document was simple but revolutionary. Earth would protect Villani space from military attack. In return, the Villani would share their scientific knowledge and help Earth understand galactic politics. News of the treaty spread quickly. Within hours, Earth received requests for similar agreements from 12 different species. Admiral, reported Dr. Lee, most of these requests are from species that the aggressive powers have been threatening for years. What about the Galactic Council? They're demanding an immediate meeting. They say Earth is destabilizing galactic law and order. Admiral Kim looked at the tactical display showing his fleet. 800 ships that had been built in secret, crewed by humans who had never fought aliens before. 3 days ago, they had been Earth's hidden defense force. Now they were the foundation of a new kind of galactic order. Captain Park, how long would it take to reach the Galactic Council chambers? 4 days, sir. Then we go to meet them. It's time the galaxy learned that Earth doesn't hide from bullies, whether they're military empires or political bureaucrats. As the human fleet prepared to leave Villani space, Taemin sent one final message. Admiral Kim, before you came, we thought we were going to die. Our children, our art, our entire civilization would have been lost. You saved us not because you had to, but because it was right. The galaxy needs more species like humanity. Admiral Kim replied simply, the galaxy has more species like humanity. They've just been afraid to act. That's about to change. The alarm screamed through the Villani Communications Center. Taemin's 6 eyes focused on the screen in front of him, his blue skin turning pale. The numbers were bad. Very bad. Subin, come here quickly, he called to his assistant. Subin rushed over, her thin legs carrying her across the metal floor. She looked at the data and her breath caught. Are those ships? Yes, Crovar ships. Hundreds of them. The Crovar Empire had been moving through their galaxy for months. Every world they touched became silent. No survivors, no prisoners. Just empty planets and floating debris where cities used to be. Taemin had hoped their peaceful confederation would be ignored. The Villani had never hurt anyone. They grew food, made art, and studied the stars. Their 12 worlds were home to billions of gentle beings who had never known war. How long do we have? Subin asked. Taman checked the scanner readings again. 3 days. Maybe 4 if they stopped to destroy the outer colonies first. Subin sat down hard. Her people had no weapons that could stop the Krovar. Their ships were built for exploration, not fighting. The Villani had always believed that being peaceful would keep them safe. They had been wrong. We need to send the distress signal, Taman said. To who? The Galactic Council voted not to interfere. They said the Krovar are too strong. To everyone. Every world, every species, every ship in range. Someone has to help us. Subin pulled up the communication array. The signal will reach 47 different star systems. But Taman, most of them are afraid of the Krovar too. Then we pray that someone isn't afraid. On the edge of their system, Do-hyun stood on the bridge of his massive warship. The Krovar war commander was 7 feet tall and covered in black armor. His red eyes scanned the peaceful worlds ahead. These creatures have no defenses, reported his tactical officer. Good. The Empire requires their resources. Begin the cleansing. Do-hyun had destroyed 16 worlds in the past year. Each time it became easier. The galaxy was full of weak species who had forgotten how to fight. They would beg and cry, but they never resisted properly. The Villani would be no different. Back on the communication world, Taemin finished writing the message. His hands shook as he typed. This is the Villani Confederation. We are under attack by the Krovar Empire. Our people are peaceful. We have no weapons to defend ourselves. Billions of innocent lives will be lost. Please, anyone who receives this message, we need help. We need it now. He attached their location, population data, and everything about the approaching Krovar fleet. Send it on all frequencies, he told Subin. Sending now. The message shot out into space at light speed. It would take hours to reach the nearest systems, days to reach the distant ones. Across the galaxy, species received the message. The bird-like Keitha shook their heads sadly but did nothing. The crystalline Zephyrite felt sorry, but knew they couldn't fight the Krovar. The mammalian Dorits sent medical supplies but no ships. Most civilizations had the same response. They felt bad for the Villani, but helping them meant facing the Krovar Empire. No one wanted that war. The message reached 46 different star systems. In each one, leaders made the same choice. It was too dangerous to help. But the 47th system was different. The signal traveled for 3 days before reaching a small yellow star in the outer spiral arm. The third planet from that star was blue and green, covered in water and clouds. Most galactic species avoided this world. Their databases listed it as a death world, a planet so dangerous that visiting it usually meant death. The creatures living there were violent, aggressive, and constantly fighting each other. The planet was called Earth. Lieutenant Commander Jae-hwan Park was working the night shift at the Deep Space Monitoring Station when the signal came in. He almost missed it. The message was weak after traveling so far, but when the computer translated it into Korean, he sat up straight. Commander Lee, you need to see this. Min-ho Lee came over and read the message. His face grew serious. How far away are they? The Villani? About 800 light years. And this Krovar Empire? Unknown. But if they're attacking peaceful people? Min-ho shook his head. Get me Admiral Kim on the secure line. 2 hours later, Admiral Woo-jin Kim stood in the war room deep under Seoul. Around the table sat the most important military leaders on Earth. General Hyejin Choi, Dr. Min-ho Lee, and Captain So-young Park all studied the alien message. Let me understand this, said General Choi. An alien species is asking for help because another alien species wants to kill all of them? That's correct, said Dr. Lee. The Villani seem to be herbivores, peaceful farmers and artists. The Krovar are described as a militaristic empire that destroys entire worlds. And 46 other civilizations got this message but chose not to help, added Admiral Kim. Captain Park leaned forward. Sir, we've been preparing for first contact for decades. This isn't how we planned it. No, agreed Admiral Kim. We planned to meet peaceful explorers or maybe defend Earth from invaders. We never planned to save strangers from genocide. The room was quiet for a long moment. Admiral, said General Choi, what does your gut tell you? Woo-jin Kim had served in the military for 30 years. He had seen war, peace, and everything in between. He knew that some decisions couldn't be made with logic alone. My gut tells me that if we can help billions of innocent people and choose not to, we're no better than the species trying to kill them. The logistics are insane, warned Captain Park. 800 light years. We'd need the entire fleet. Then we send the entire fleet. Dr. Lee raised his hand. Sirs, we should consider what this means. If we intervene, we reveal Earth's capabilities to the galaxy. Our secret development program, our military strength, everything. Good, said Admiral Kim. Maybe it's time the galaxy knew that Earth doesn't ignore genocide. 4 hours later, the decision was made. Earth would respond to the Volani distress call, but they wouldn't send aid ships or medical supplies like the other species. They would send an armada. Back in Volani space, Taemin watched the scanners. The Krovar fleet was closer now, less than 2 days away. Subin sat beside him, both of them hoping for a miracle that seemed less likely every hour. Any responses to our message? She asked. Some medical supplies from the Dorits, food packages from 3 other species, but no military help. Subin closed her eyes. So this is how we end. Taemin kept watching the long-range scanners. Somewhere out there, the message was still traveling to distant stars. Maybe, just maybe, someone would come. He didn't know that 800 light-years away, the largest war fleet in human history was already beginning to move. The Galactic Council chambers had never seen anything like the human fleet. 800 ships appeared in formation around the neutral station, their weapons powered down but clearly visible. Every species in the galaxy was watching. Admiral Woojin Kim walked through the station corridors with Ambassador Yoonji Nam and a small security detail. The corridors were built for dozens of different alien species, with varying gravity and atmosphere sections. Admiral, Ambassador Nam whispered, remember that the Council has been governing galactic politics for over 1,000 years. They don't like changes to their authority. They've been governing, but have they been leading? Admiral Kim replied. They entered the main chamber, a massive circular room with representatives from 67 different species. The humans were given seats in the center, surrounded by aliens who watched them with everything from curiosity to fear. Council Prime Yongsu, a tall, crystalline being, called the session to order. The Galactic Council recognizes the delegation from Earth. Thank you, Council Prime. I am Admiral Woojin Kim, representing the United Earth Defense Force. Admiral Kim, you stand accused of violating the Galactic Non-Interference Doctrine. You attacked the Krovar Empire without Council authorization. How do you answer? Admiral Kim stood slowly. Around him, 67 different species waited for his response. Council Prime, Earth received a distress signal from the Volani Confederation. They were facing genocide. We responded. The proper response was to bring the matter before this council for debate and authorization. How long would that have taken? Council Prime Yongsu seemed surprised by the question. Such matters require careful consideration. Perhaps 6 to 8 months for full debate. In 6 months, 12 billion Volani would have been dead. A murmur went through the chamber. Representative Bitna of the Ketha Federation spoke up. Admiral, the Council's procedures exist to prevent galactic wars. What you did was reckless. What we did was necessary. You don't understand galactic politics, added Representative Myung-soo of the Dorit Commonwealth. The Krovar Empire has legitimate territorial claims. Admiral Kim's expression grew cold. Legitimate territorial claims? They were committing genocide. That's their cultural method of expansion, Representative Myung-soo stammered. And it's our cultural method to stop genocide when we encounter it. Council Prime Yongsu regained control of the chamber. Admiral Kim, Earth cannot simply decide galactic law based on your cultural preferences. We're not deciding galactic law. We're following universal moral law. There is no universal moral law. Each species has its own ethics and methods. Admiral Kim looked around the chamber at the representatives of dozens of civilizations. Most of them avoided his eyes. Council Prime, how many of you received the Volani distress call? Silence filled the chamber. 46 species received that message. 46 civilizations heard billions of innocent people asking for help. How many of you sent military aid? More silence. None of you. Not one ship. Not one weapon. You sent medical supplies and food while knowing that everyone would be dead before it arrived. Representative Bitna tried to defend the council. Admiral, we sent humanitarian aid. The Council voted against military intervention because it would have escalated the conflict. Escalated? The Villani had no weapons. What exactly would have escalated? Ambassador Nam stepped forward. If I may, Council Prime, Earth understands your concerns about maintaining stability, but we believe there's a difference between stability and paralysis. Paralysis? Council Prime Yongsu's crystalline form flickered with anger. Yes, Admiral Kim said firmly. For 1,000 years, this council has watched aggressive species destroy peaceful ones. You've maintained order by allowing the strong to take what they want from the weak. That's not true. Then why do peaceful species pay tribute to avoid attack? Why do aggressive empires expand freely while this council debates? Why did 46 civilizations ignore a cry for help? Representative Insu of the Zephyrite Assembly spoke up. Admiral Kim, you don't understand. The galaxy is vast and complex. Some conflicts cannot be prevented. This one could have been prevented. Any one of you could have stopped it. But you chose not to. We chose to follow established law. You chose to follow convenient law. Laws that let you feel civilized while innocent people died. The chamber erupted in angry voices. Species shouted at each other in dozens of languages. Council Prime Yongsu struggled to restore order. Enough. The crystalline being's voice echoed through the chamber. Admiral Kim, Earth's actions have destabilized centuries of careful diplomatic balance. The Krovar Empire is threatening retaliation against any species that supported your intervention. Let them threaten. You don't understand. This could lead to galactic war. Admiral Kim stood and faced the entire chamber. Council Prime, members of the Galactic Council, let me be very clear about Earth's position. The chamber fell silent. We don't want war. We prefer peace, but we will not allow genocide to continue while we have the power to stop it. If that destabilizes your diplomatic balance, then your balance was built on the suffering of innocent people. Admiral, Representative Bitna said desperately, what you're proposing would change everything. Good. Everything needs to change. Council Prime Yongsu tried one more approach. Admiral Kim, surely we can reach a compromise. Earth could become a member of the Council. You could work within our system to create gradual reforms. And while we debate gradual reforms, how many more species will face extinction? That's the price of maintaining galactic stability. The words hung in the air. Every being in the chamber realized what had just been said. The price of your stability, Admiral Kim said quietly, is other people's lives. Ambassador Nam activated a holographic display. Council members in the past 5 years. The Krovar Empire alone has destroyed 14 civilizations. The Vorthan hegemony has enslaved 6 species. The Red Claw Syndicate has forced tribute from 32 worlds. Where was galactic stability for them? Representative Myung-soo looked uncomfortable. Those are regrettable losses. Regrettable? Admiral Kim's voice rose. Regrettable? Billions of sentient beings are dead because this council chose to maintain the status quo instead of protecting the innocent. Admiral Kim, Council Prime Young-soo said formally, Earth is hereby ordered to withdraw from all non-human star systems and submit to Council oversight of your military capabilities. Admiral Kim looked around the chamber one more time. Then he smiled, and somehow that was more frightening than his anger had been. Council Prime, Earth respectfully declines. You cannot decline a Council order. We just did. This means Earth is in violation of galactic law. Your galactic law allows genocide and calls it stability. Your galactic law ignores cries for help and calls it non-interference. Your galactic law protects the strong and abandons the weak. Admiral Kim turned toward the exit. Earth chooses different laws. Universal laws. Moral laws. Where are you going? Council Prime Yongsu demanded. To build a better galaxy. Anyone who wants to join us is welcome. As the human delegation left the chamber, chaos erupted. Some species demanded military action against Earth. Others quietly wondered if the humans might be right. But in the corridor outside, Ambassador Nam caught up with Admiral Kim. Sir, we just declared independence from galactic civilization. No, Ambassador. We just declared that there's a difference between civilization and bureaucracy. What happens now? Admiral Kim looked back at the chamber where 67 species were arguing about what to do with the upstart humans. Now we prove that protecting the innocent is more important than maintaining the status quo. And we hope that some of these species remember what they once believed before they became afraid. As the human fleet prepared to leave the Council station, Admiral Kim received a secure communication. The image showed a representative from the Dorit Commonwealth, but not Representative Myung-soo. Admiral Kim, this is Commander Seok Jin of the Dorit Defense Force. I wanted you to know that not all of us agree with our government's position. Commander, sir, there are many species in the galaxy who believe what you said today. We're tired of watching innocents die while the Council debates. If Earth is serious about protecting peaceful civilizations, we're serious. Commander, then you won't be fighting alone. The transmission ended, but Admiral Kim knew that everything had changed. Earth had forced the galaxy to choose sides. Some would choose the safety of the status quo. Others would choose to fight for something better.